Well, we know it's the busiest time of year in shops, and for many, the whole reason to use the traditional brick and mortar stores or the traditional department store ahead of online retailers is the benefit of customer service. So let me know, what is the customer service like out there at the moment? Good, bad, non-existent? 133 693. A couple of weeks ago, I thought I'd start some Christmas shopping with a major retailer. I needed assistance getting a box from a higher shelf. I knew exactly where I wanted. It was up high, couldn't reach it. Tried to find someone. Do you think I could find anyone? I went up to one person. Oh, I don't work in this department. Okay. Another person. Oh, sorry, I'm on break. Okay. Another person. Oh, no, sorry, I'm just working on the register at the moment. In the end, I took a photo of the item, got on my phone, got it $15 cheaper on Amazon, plus free delivery. And I won't be going back to that store. So 133 693. What is customer service like at this time of year? Keen to hear your experiences. I should balance out that critique with an absolute positive review. I reckon the best customer service anywhere, Bunnings. There's always staff, always people happy to help, can return no issues at all. Bunnings, just a joy. Unfortunately, they don't have a toy department, but alas. 133 693. Sue Ellson is a business advisor. She joins me on the line now. Sue, good afternoon.
Hi, Shane.
Is customer service as bad as I think it is, or is it just depend on the different stores?
Well, I think you're right. It definitely does depend on the different store, and I've also experienced fantastic service at Bunnings, so I know what you mean by that. But it depends on the actual number of staff is the first thing, but also how it's managed. So you might remember the old television show, Are You Being Served? And we had Captain Peacock there on the floor monitoring things, and Mr. Rumbold, who also bumbled his way through it. But there was a lot more people to begin with, but they also had their own roles and their own specific things, and there was somebody to sort of go higher up to. And a lot of that middle management layer has gone missing now. And the other thing that's really interesting is there's a lot of tech that can predict when the customer flows come in, but there's not always the staff to, support them. So that's probably when people will say, look, I'm only going to do this job. That's all I can manage for now.
Are we out of touch if we expect the department store experience to be what it was 10, 20 years ago?
It's a tough question. Look, for many people, when they start out in retail, they don't necessarily get a lot of training, either off-site or on the job. So that can make a difference. And I know definitely when I started in banking, we did a full week-long induction program before I even served any customers. So, that was a very different experience. But also, I think we've become a lot less patient as customers. So, for instance, if you go online, you can order it on Amazon, get the free delivery, save $15, you can do all of that. Whereas when you go to a store, that's not necessarily a possibility. And one of the things I've noticed in stores is a lot less stock as well because of, trying to reduce cost and improve margins and all that kind of thing. So I would suggest that obviously, as a customer, put a smile on your face before you ask for it. But secondly, consider going to those smaller businesses closer to home where it's the owner-operator doing it. I think you'll probably still get a reasonably good level of service there if you've got the time to manage that.
It's interesting what you say, Sue, about training that goes in. I worked at Myer many years ago now, and I still remember day one, the first thing they said is, always just start to greet the customer. It doesn't matter if they're in your department, just walking past, just a simple hello, how you going, can I help you? Anything like that to point someone in the right direction. And to me, that was basic of working in retail. They didn't have to tell me that. That was something that, I kind of get it. I'm working at a shop front. Do you think sometimes those going into retail now I just want my $20 an hour or whatever it is and I really don't care?
Well, it depends on what sort of background they've had. I mean, you may have had parents who taught you well and you were taught to say hello to people when you met them or even say their name or look at their name badge. Like whenever I go into a store, if I see a name badge, I say, hello, Mary, and off I go. So there's a lot of things that we learn within our cultural background. But I think what happens, particularly at Christmas time, a lot of people are very stressed, they're time pressured. And when we're concentrating, we forget to smile. And I say that a smile is a universal language, and you can probably get a lot better service. But also if we think about their job. It's difficult, but also to praise the retail staff. And sadly, retail trade has the second highest level of job mobility, as in people change their jobs so frequently, because the other issue that a lot of retail workers face is abuse from customers when people can't get what they want out of the store. And, of course, that can, again, make them a little bit reluctant to offer that perhaps extra service.
Before I let you go, Sue, if I do experience bad customer service, it certainly doesn't give me a right to abuse anyone, but if I do get bad customer service or am unsatisfied from that shopping experience, am I within my rights to just say, can I have a chat to the boss, can I have a chat to the manager, and let them know that that store isn't up to par and I'm thinking of taking my shopping elsewhere?
Well, I think any feedback is good feedback, and particularly if you're going there with the process of trying to educate, not vilify the person for the mistake. One of the things I do recommend, though, is that if you get good service, consider writing a review online for that business, because I think a lot of people are willing to complain. Not so many people are willing to say thank you. And back in the day, I remember a lot of customer service staff would get chocolates and goodies for Christmas because people appreciated the service that they may have had for the entire year. So I think we really need to recognise these people are on the front line. And, some of them just are literally limited and can't do any more than they're doing. They're already operating at maximum capacity, and perhaps a little bit of understanding, it's the season for goodwill. So, let's sort of try and focus on that. But, look, if it's a critical issue, then, yes, definitely take it further up.
It's a wonderful point. And I think if you can get that good service and someone excels, that needs to be recognised just as much as someone who's not pulling their weight. Sue Ellson, workplace expert, business advisor. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Shane.
Let's get to some of your calls.